Next pick, though, I'm going to say this. This one had more emotional. It got a little bit more serious when it came down to it. And it was, believe it or not, towards the end of the show. And it's 11th season, but Frasier.
Oh, Frasier.
There was the very, very end of Frasier. If you know what I'm talking about, good for you. Because I just want to let you guys know, I binge watched this entire show.
He did.
For 8 months in 2022. I watched every single episode of Frasier from February till October of 2022. And I cried. Dad. What's that?
Why my dad? Because I think he did that too.
Yeah, I mean, it was on Paramount Plus, plug for our video. And I was watching it. I was like, this is just such a great show. I mean, I've never seen it before. Let me watch it. And I was hooked within about 2 episodes. I was hooked on this show. I love this show to death now. It is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. And I've watched the whole thing, which is great. They are making a sequel show, just on a side note. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but they are doing that. I don't know how. We'll see. But anyways, Frasier. Hear me out for a sec, ladies and gents. Hear me out. Frasier, throughout the show, the character of Dr. Frasier Crane always has romantic trouble, and they handle it in comedic ways. Oh, this woman's a crazy person. This woman's a but. I'm not saying all women are crazy. I'm not getting to that point. We have a woman on our show tonight. We have Allie on our show tonight. That is proof right there. She's great. But here we are.
Women aren't crazy. Us men just screw everything up.
Damn right, Bill.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Men out there who actually try, good for you, but men who don't try, sad. It's true. But anyways, if you watch Frasier from start to finish, which I do recommend you doing over on Paramount Plus, it's really great. Frasier has no luck. He is the one character on the show who has no true resolution of love, no resolution of happiness, and no resolution of finding the right human being, his soulmate, his partner, his forever and ever. And literally the last 3 or 4 episodes of the show, I was crying my eyes out at this, ladies and gents. And bear with me, guys. But the series finale of Frasier got me so good. It got me crying because he finally, the show that is super funny, hysterical, Niles Crane and his brother, all this stuff. The dad, Martin Crane, who played by John Mahoney, just saying.
No relation, right, JT?
No relation whatsoever. But God rest your soul, John Mahoney. But yeah, this show was, the ending of the show is so perfect because I don't want to spoil too much, but let me just explain it this way. So basically, Frasier meets this woman who's a dating specialist. She's about 2004, right? And she's like, "Oh, I specialize in trying to meet you, help you find the perfect woman for you, right?" And sure enough, that woman ends up being his love interest towards the end of the show. Under the end of Frasier ends with him finally being happy, and that is not something you just take lightly or you take very. What's the word? You don't take it very like, oh, whatever. No, that was a very serious thing. The character of Frasier Crane got resolved perfectly at the end of that show by finding the woman that he truly loved and making it truly worthwhile to be alive and be happy as the character of Frasier Crane is. It was such a perfect send-off for the character. And plus, Kelsey Grammer, let's not forget, Frasier is a spinoff of Cheers. Kelsey Grammer had been playing that character since like 1984 or 5, and they ended in 2004. For 20 years, he played Frasier Crane, which is nuts. If you think about it, most people do like a decade or two, or a decade or 15 years on a show. This guy did 20. Kelsey Grammer, props to you, my guy. Seriously. But yeah, bottom line, Frasier got serious towards the end of the show, and I think it really ended on a very heartfelt note, a very serious note. Him leaving his job as a radio host in Seattle. He's going to move somewhere else, and it all resolved perfectly, and it got so serious, and I loved it to death. I plug for anyone who wants to listen to it or watch it on our YouTube channel. We actually I did a reaction like the night I finished watching it, I actually came and I left the TV where I was sitting. I got up and I did a video on my emotional reaction to the ending of Frasier, and I was crying my eyes out. He finally got his happiness. I'm getting emotional now, guys. Forgive me. I'm going off on my tangent. Those are my two picks.
You wanna know something interesting, JT?
Yes, tell me.
You know, when Niles and his new wife, when they have the baby near the end of the series,
Yeah. What about it?
and they named him something
David.
that they actually named him. The name was actually the name after a producer, I think, from Frasier, who was killed in the 9/11 attacks.
Oh, I do remember that episode. I mean, I don't remember them honoring him in that episode, but I didn't know that they actually named him because the character's name was David.
Yes,
David Crane. So okay.
it was after I don't know if he was a producer or crew member, but he died in the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah, very, very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But interesting stuff. But yeah,
All right.
Frasier. The ending of the show was a very satisfying. So if you're looking for serious fun, if you're looking to end a show perfectly, look at Frasier. I think
Those tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Hey baby, hear the blues are calling. Toss salad
And scrambled eggs.
They're calling again.
Now I feel like I have to go now and binge watch Frasier, don't I?
Bill, have you even seen the show?
I've seen a good amount of episodes.
Watch it from beginning to end, and you'll have the same experience I had. It's the beauty of the sitcom.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Frasier.